Good afternoon, it's Tony again from Paranormal Investigation UK. Today's date is the 27th of January 2021, and today we're reviewing a piece of footage for the Cheshire investigation dated the 8th of January 2021. The last activity happened 2 days before on the 6th of January. Then on the 7th was a day where we had absolutely no activity, which is quite unusual. We did have a little bit of recycling taking place last year. For example, you'd have activity for 10 days, then it would flatline for 3 days, 10 days, 3 days, and it seemed to repeat. This time seems to be probably the beginning of December, where the room or the building just suddenly erupted in spontaneous activity again. We've not had this recycling taking place. The reason why we've been ultra careful with some of the noises we've been capturing, particularly when we are suspicious it may well be down to temperature changes, the building heating up as well as cooling down, and also some of the alarms have been taking place before 7 AM and after around about 8 PM at night. This is when the central heating, particularly with this room here, what we call the main airforce area, the heating's off. The empty room on the other side of the corridor hasn't got the heating on, and we're not experiencing anywhere near as many unusual sounds. So that's as far as the building's concerned. We'll get into this one. I just due to the sheer amount of evidence that's coming in from this particular case, I've got a backlog, on the 27th, and dealing with one on the 8th. I'm 20 days behind, just don't seem to be able to get on top of it, so we'll see how we go. So I'm not sure if this is a visual or an audible, but we're just about to find out. Let's see what happens. I'm bringing a bit of EQ in just to simply lift the volume up a touch. I'm not using any EQ, I'm just using it for me, just to amplify it slightly on the output. So, okay, see where this takes us. Ball flash. I'm just going to see how far I can go with it. Oh. Right, okay. Right. As a recap, this particular room is a camera in the far corner, which is this one that you're looking at now. There's a camera there which looks after, it points outside the building. Just really, I'm interested in any outside human interaction, particularly with fraud. Although this is a multi-million-pound business complex, the security, cleaners, them type of people know about it, and the last thing I want is start to introduce fraud into the building. On the opposite side of this room, out of view camera, is another camera which is in a window which looks after the front of the building. There to the left hand side, where I'm just moving the cursor, there's a door which takes into a hallway, then another door into the stairway area, because this is on the 5th floor. It's about 35 feet up in the air. Once you go through that door, there's another camera. Up to the 23rd of January, because we're still on the 8th of January, a further camera was installed into the above this false ceiling. There isn't an attic as such, it's just an open plan steel framed roof. Some insulation, once they put this false ceiling in, insulation goes in, because some of the sounds appeared to be coming from the ceiling area. We installed 2 cameras to monitor that ceiling area to catch any sort of infestation, squirrels, that type of thing. Rentokil have been in also on 2 occasions because other people have suggested that there's something up there. The camera's been up for about 3 or 4 weeks now, not captured anything. And Rentokil have indicated that on inspection there's nothing there, completely free of all infestation. So that's where we're at. So I know at some point these Triiger object balls that we seem to have a lot of activity with. I wouldn't say I'm completely confident with them, because I'm certainly not. Not them flashing anyway. I am when they move and fall on the floor. There's one there, roughly about there. There was one in the window. I think there is one in the window, and there's a leather chair, and there's one on there as well. That's where the position then, now I should say. Back then, 3 weeks ago, he had one on top of this picture. This picture is a print really, depicting the movie Saw. Certainly in March of 2020, when this building suddenly erupted in activity, that particular picture appeared to be some form of trigger, because anything happened around it. On one occasion, captured on camera with the picture being thrown forward between 3 to 4 feet, almost striking the business owner. And this is when it was leaning up against the wall before the picture was placed on the wall. It's about 2.5 kilos in weight, so it's almost 2.5 bags of sugar, quite heavy, but it flew. So one of the balls we put back on there, but the ball, if there is anything paranormal going on with this building, the phenomena evolves and changes. It's not always the same. It may repeat for a number of days, and then it changes and evolves. So we've had balls that have been thrown about, then it got into flashing balls, the ball stopped, then we get multiple wraps and stuff. It then evolved into light anomalies, particularly in the empty room area, multiple light anomalies, really strange stuff. It then flatlined in middle of October into November, back December it starts again, and there's no doubt that the heat of the building, it's freezing cold outside, it's not been much above 3 degrees for some weeks now. The heating's on particularly on this room. The building's going to heat up, the building's going to cool down, and you get some structural noises, particularly when you're dealing with a steel framed building. And okay, the floors are concrete, substantial twin brick, but it's steel framed. The roof itself is 24 inch. Imagine that 2 foot girder running from corner to corner. Absolutely huge, well constructed, incredibly strong building. But a lot of the tie bars and the other stanchions are fastened to hold the roof up. Quite possibly with temperature and met with metal, they will change. And I think some of the bangs are cause of that, because we don't get much between 9 to 5 during the day. But we have got some other strange stuff as well. Let's see where this one is going to take us, shall we? That. So we've got the light coming on there. No, it's about 2 to 3 seconds we get it. So the light comes in there. What on earth is that? Ah. I've obviously done something there. Excuse me. Oh, I've had an awful, wintry, coldy cough. I do apologise. Right, let's turn this back up again. Yeah, that light triggers the CCTV. It's always around 3 seconds. So it saves like 3 seconds before, 57 seconds after. That's what triggered the camera. Confirmed by the squares around it. It shows this as an event. What's interesting is as that lights up, I can hear a sound. Let's just go back to that. There. They don't make a sound, they just light up. There's nothing, no alarms on them. Yeah. There's a sound with that. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close that down a second. I need to get a fix on this frequency if I can. I'm hoping it's loud enough. But as that lights up, there's a sound. Yeah, it's very, very low in volume, isn't it? I don't think we're going to be able to get anything on there. Is it that there? A bit more. Very difficult to get a fix on that. I think it's around here. About 800 hertz, but difficult to be sure. It's simply not loud enough, but is it a coincidence that it actually makes a sound? But certainly if let's listen to it with it turned up. When it sounds, that flashes. Or is there something outside that's caused the vibration, which has caused that to flash? Could be. At normal volume, not going to hear it. No. Could be just coincidence that you can hear a sound at the same time as it begins to flash there. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of that. At least it will remind me that there is an actual sound. He's on a bit of a go slow today. Move 268, 267 I should say. Okay. I'll turn the volume back up a touch because we could hear some sort of other noises there, other sounds. You need to keep an eye on the visual as well. So yeah, there's a sound there. That's rap territory. That I've heard so many of these, I just know what they sound like. Quite sad, really, but okay, see what we can get on there. Now I've got the volume turned quite high. I can't see anything visual there at the moment, so let's turn this back down. See if it still picks it up. It's around about 1,000. It's this tight frequency which I've seen so often. Yeah, I just said, well, jump there. There. Grab territory. I've heard someone I just know it's a very tight frequency band, around about 800 to 1000 Hz, but it's difficult because it's such low volume. If I turn it down to 0, you can just about hear it, but you're not going to see that. So unfortunately, there's not much you can do with that. All we can say is we heard small number of low volume rap sounds. That's sort of in the territory that we had last year. Just the volume's not very loud. once you start increasing it, you're lifting in background noise, and it just contaminates the actual frequency you're looking to analyse. So it's a completely pointless of using an amplification to grab a frequency fix. So I tend to just let them go. So I will record it. So right, let's turn value back up. Now that's a bit louder. That's actually quite a lot louder. Doesn't sound rappy, that. Okay, let's turn that down. Can we hear it? No. That's background hiss, that. Oh, no, okay. So he's taking with it a number of frequencies. It's again very difficult to be sure. So as a recap, what we've had at the moment is obviously the trigger object ball sat on the saw picture. That's gone off exactly the same time we could hear a low volume sound exactly at the same time. That's followed by, we've got two real rappy sounds, but such low volume can get a frequency fix. So, and we're not even halfway yet, so we've got a bit to go. So let's see where the rest of this takes us. Turn that back up. There's another one there, you see. Again, very low volume. Yeah, no one can get a fix on that. Just halfway. And this is another one. That's 4. You can just see it there actually, just left up there, 500. There. There. Flip. 1000 hertz is always that frequency. Yeah. Always that frequency. So if it's different things it's being impacted, you would see the frequency all over the place. But it's a little peak, bang, and that's the 4th one now, which I wrap sound and the frequency sort of picks it up, but I'm having to use a lot of amplification here, just to, you know, it's just a shame because just done with these a little bit louder to be certain, but undoubtedly it's that sort of territory. There you go, bang, little 1000. Another one. That's 5. Let's start writing these down for us. So there we go. One piece of 60 second footage. We've got unexplained trigger object lights up, followed by 5 rap sounds, all low volume, and this was at 7:05 in the morning. It's possible that the heating's on, and it's water being driven through the radiators, I think, heating up, which has caused them raps. So it could be possible heating, and I think that's how I will record this. Record the fact that we do get this trigger object light, which has been on there for a number of days, lights up. In fact, I'm fairly sure that is the SAR picture. That's on a different picture. But anyway, that's lit up. There's a noise exactly the same time as that, followed by, over the next 50 seconds, 4 further rap sounds, but possibly could be due to heating. Had it not been for the light, the camera would never triggered, and those rap sounds would never been captured, because they're just not simply not loud enough for the trigger of the camera. So they will deem them as accidental captures, just lucky, really. So we'll record it on that basis, that multiple raps, possibly due to heating up. So right. I shall see you in the next movie.